And I get it, though. Y'all, I understand why we don't run to our prayer closet sometimes. It can be intimidating. Did you see what happened to Isaiah when he saw God sitting on the throne? He said, "Woe unto me, for I am a man of unclean lips." Did you see Adam and Eve when they realized they had messed up? What did they do? They ran from God. So what do you think our response would be when we have the opportunity to go before the throne of God? It's probably not too far from everybody else's. And so there is intimidation. There is an intimidation factor to God that we can't ignore. We see how sinful we are. We see how broken we are. We really don't know what our prayer life is going to cost us. Am I going to be some crazy person on fire for God? I don't know what my surrender looks like. What happens to me when I surrender all of me? I just don't fully understand, God. And all these questions are surrounding me, and it inhibits and impedes my desire to go before God in prayer. Or maybe you're like me and you hear about people who pray all night and you're like, man, can I get 5 minutes in? Maybe you're like me and you hear about people who fasted for 21 days and like, man, I'm hungry after 2 hours. Maybe you're like me and you see all of these spiritual giants and you think of yourself as a spiritual ant. And so the comparison to other giants in the faith will make you feel like, golly, man, I'm just a pipsqueak compared to all of these men and women. And so we come back and we don't enter God's bedroom in the way that we should. Or maybe we'll finally get the courage to enter the throne room, the bedroom of God. And once we get to the bedroom of God, we realize that we're not getting answers as fast as we want to get them. We realize that He ain't speaking as fast as I need Him to speak. And so our impatience will begin to impede our prayer life, and we will get up maybe 5 minutes earlier than we should. We'll get up 15 minutes earlier than we should. We'll stop fasting just a little bit earlier than we should. Our impatience will abort so many prayers in our lives if we allow it to. And if it's not impatience, it's just the desire for instant gratification. Instant gratification will make you abort so many of God's dreams and desires for your life because it's not what you want in your time. You will back up. I want instant gratification, Jesus, not delayed gratification. I want it now. I want it now. I want my spouse now. I want my vision now. I want my music now. I want my albums now. I want my joy now. I want my peace now. I want my house now. I want my friends now. I want it now. And so our desire for instant gratification will abort the vision, power, and passion of God in prayer. And really what's going on in this prayer room, the reason why we're so impatient and we're so in love with instant gratification is because we really don't know how to surrender our lives to the Lord Jesus Christ fully. We're afraid to surrender to Him altogether. God, I want this right now. You're not going to let me get it? God, I want that right now. I can't have it. God, I need this right now. Can I get it? And so we fight and we wrestle. And the reason why we lose in prayer is because we get up from the wrestling match. But if we would just labor with God in the wrestling match, I promise you there would be deliverance on the other side of the cage match. I promise you there will be freedom, not just for yourself, but for somebody else in the cage match. No man, no woman, no child is greater than their prayer life. Will you wrestle with God over this issue that has bound you for years? Or will you get up right before it's too early? Will you pray God's desires? Or will you be consumed with yourself? Then He said to them all, whoever wants to be my disciple must deny themselves, take up their cross daily, and follow me.